Hi, guys, welcome back. It's Angelica, and today I'm going to be checking out another Rush song. And I'm kind of going out of order here, so I hope that you guys bear with me. But I have a reason for doing this song. It is one of their bigger radio hits that I don't think that I know, but I might. So let me just say that really clearly off the bat. I might know this, but I'm really not sure. So we'll see. But the reason that I'm choosing this song is I am going to be doing my first Rush-centered live stream on Patreon. We are going to be watching Beyond the Lighted Stage, which I'm incredibly excited about. I started watching that a couple months ago, and I had to turn it off because there was just so much of Rush's music in it that I hadn't heard yet, and I didn't want to have it spoiled for me that way. I wanted to really be present for it, not it just be something on in the background. So this is a hit of theirs that I don't think that I know, and I'm assuming it will be in the documentary. So I'm trying to kind of go through some of these last bigger hits that I don't think that I'm aware of before we get to that. So that's my reasoning for choosing this song, and it's called The Spirit of Radio. And like I said, it's very possible that I have heard this in the background or on the radio somewhere. I'm going to see if I recognize it or not. But I know that if I have heard it, I certainly have not paid attention to the lyrics. And just from the title, I'm gathering that it might be a similar message to Limelight, which to me was more of a commentary of the culture and the media. So I feel like Neil Peart might have written some really great lyrics for this. So I have the lyrics pulled up. I want to try to understand what they're talking about here and listen to the music. So let's check it out. I'm going to stop just for a minute to say I don't think I recognize this. There was parts of that chorus that did sound familiar. I'm sure I've heard it on in the background somewhere, but I've certainly never paid attention to this song before because it's very unfamiliar to me. I'm loving it so far. It's definitely more it's still Rush, but it's a lot more radio friendly, I think, probably intentionally. So let's take it back and keep going.
One likes to believe in the freedom of music.
Okay. I I don't know that song. I don't know how, but I don't know that song. Wow. Yeah. So the way that's striking me is I know that Rush had kind of struggled with not being popular um, on the radio and in charts and album sales and all of that. And I know there was somewhat of a frustration in the band about that. I don't know that they were really trying to be the biggest band or anything like that, but um, I I think that was one of the inspirations for writing 2112 was kind of that frustration of the record labels maybe wanting a certain sound from them that they weren't really willing to do. So I don't know. The way that this is striking me, I could be wrong, and I would love to know all about this song and what it is supposed to mean. But the way that it's striking me is kind of like, hey, we can write a hit too, you know. We can write hits. Where it's not that we can't do that. That's just not what we're trying to do. And this is an incredibly catchy song that I would expect to hear on the radio. I had said that about um, the Bangkok song that's on 2112 on the side B, whatever that song is called, something about Bangkok, trains to Bangkok or something. I felt like that could have been on the radio too, but then I realized that it was about some things that weren't really radio friendly. So this, I think, on the surface is very radio friendly. The words, I think this is easily something that most people would hear and not really see as a criticism of the media or the culture or anything like that. But I do think that it is, um, yeah, yeah. These are great lyrics. I feel that Neil's lyrics are very interesting. Now that I know that he's the lyricist for the band, it's very fitting, I think, to hit what I know of his personality and even just the way that he plays the drums. It's very technical and heavy. Like there's a lot of weight with these words. They're not necessarily like verses that just like flow off the tongue, but they're very descriptive, and there's a lot of emotional weight to the words that he chooses, I think. Um, Let me see. Yeah, I mean, even this chorus part, which didn't even strike me as a chorus, it kind of even felt more like a bridge, but they're calling it a chorus where I'm looking at the lyrics. It says, invisible airwaves crackle with life, bright antenna bristle with the energy, emotional feedback on a timeless wavelength, bearing a gift beyond price, almost free. They're very literary. I know that he was a huge reader and fan of writing and things like that, so that makes sense. But the music itself made the words so palatable. Um, it's really a cool marriage between those two things, I think. That outro was super catchy and super enjoyable. I feel like they're really good at doing outros that are unexpected, but super, like you kind of think it's ending, and then the jam really starts, you know? It's really a great surprise. Yeah, great guitar solos by Alex Lifeson, great bass lines by Geddy. As always, yeah. I'm surprised that I was kind of expecting to recognize this. I don't know. I really didn't grow up listening to classic rock stations very much. I'm aware of most of the bigger hits and things like that, but it's really taken me to this point in my life to really go back to the 70s and the 80s and really pay attention to what those artists were doing back then. I have to admit, I was a bit skeptical, I think, because I heard so much from that generation that grew up with that music that it was the greatest music of all time and that our music now is terrible. So I was a bit rebellious to that because I grew up what I thought listening to great music, and I stand by that. But man, they were right. They were right. This music is on another level. Truly, it really, really is. And I'm so grateful to go back to this time period with the eyes and the ears that I have now to really be able to appreciate this stuff. I think it's, to me, it's even better. So I'm really grateful that my journey with music has panned out this way. It's been really, really, really fun. So thank you guys for listening to this with me, and I will catch you on the next one.